Parents and students look to school resource officers to teach kids about fairness, honesty, and truthfulness.
But tonight, 13 Investigates reporter Sierra Putman has uncovered a story about a former SRO accused of not telling the truth.
And the man in question is currently a local school board member, and he's the executive director of a group that trains school resource officers across the state, meaning this man makes decisions that impact thousands of Indiana school children.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America.
In May, we attended this Decatur school board meeting.
All students, K through 12.
The focus, school safety, a key issue for board member Chase Lyday, a former school resource officer. 13 Investigates learned he's accused of not telling the truth repeatedly about his law enforcement work.
I'm not gonna do a lot of.
We were hoping to schedule a sit-down interview with Lyday, only approaching him after months of trying to pin down the time to discuss why the Hendricks County prosecutor put Lyday on this list of officers considered to be untruthful. Legal and law enforcement experts tell us that's an unusual move. Is that a big deal?
It is a big deal. You get caught lying once. How can we ever use you again? What can we use you for? I can't use you as a traffic officer to make a drunk driving arrest. I can't use you as a detective to testify in a criminal case because you're a liar.
Chase Lyday is on the school board, but he's also the executive director of the Indiana School Resource Officers Association, which trains school resource officers around the state. And he used to be the police chief for Avon Public Schools before he resigned in October while under investigation. 13 Investigates obtained these documents that show Avon police and the county prosecutor found Lyday negatively affected investigations, lied, and failed to disclose past discipline. One of the most concerning issues dates back to 2018. As a Marion County Sheriff's Reserve deputy, Lyday was accused of failing to check on 5 sex offenders for months. His supervising lieutenant wrote Lyday was misleading and untruthful. During nearly 6 years with the Sheriff's Department, records show he received at least 4 written disciplinary actions and a total of 41 days suspended. But about 2 years later, when he was applying for the chief position with Avon Schools, his file shows he did not disclose all of those issues. The Avon Police Department sent this report to the prosecutor's office, stating it found Lyday falsely answered more than a dozen questions in his personal history statement, including questions about lying at work and falsifying documents. The Avon police chief wrote, Lyday went to great lengths to avoid the discovery of his disciplinary history, including having a friend and coworker pretend to be his former supervisor, records show. You may be wondering why the department didn't know about this back in 2020 when Lyday was hired. Well, it turns out Avon police did do a background check, but they didn't have access to his disciplinary history because no one was required to share it. State law allowed police departments to keep records like these to themselves, but that changed in 2021 with a new law, and Avon police were able to use it to get these records for its investigation. And that's a good thing, according to the 3 law enforcement and legal experts 13 Investigates consulted. Robert Gerard is a professor at Indiana State University's School of Criminology and Security Studies. Do you think it was fair to put Chase Lyday on this list?
Well, from the documents I read, there were some issues that came up where full disclosure was not made.
Todd Salee and David Staples are both defense attorneys. They say knowing if an officer has been untruthful could be important for a client's defense.
That jumped off the page at me to see another officer say, we're accusing this officer of being dishonest.
Salee says the issue with the sex offenders was most alarming.
That jumped off the page at me as being very concerning.
He thinks prosecutors and police should review every case Lyday was part of.
Both going forward if those cases are still pending, but also retroactively.
To verify that no one was wrongly punished or prosecuted because of him. They do commend Avon Police and the Hendricks County prosecutor for taking action, flagging Lyday as an untruthful officer. Again, allegations we wanted to talk to him about, which takes us back to that school board meeting. Why aren't you going to do an on-camera interview? Last fall, Lyday ran on a promise to hold everyone accountable. What about the facts? Because one of the things they say in this is that you were untruthful. Do you want to comment about that?
Sarah, please don't do that. Please don't do that. I gave you an answer.
Okay.
I gave you an answer. Thank you.
Thank you. No sit down to discuss the allegations or to answer questions about 3 missing police-issued weapons, a taser, Glock 43, and Sig Sauer rifle. This police report shows that Lyday reported them stolen on November 1st, 1 week before Election Day, when he won his seat on the school board by just 1 vote. At this point, Lyday is no longer working as a law enforcement officer, but he does still hold those key positions that still impact school safety. This is the statement that he sent to us in part. He did not address the specific allegations, but did write he is proud of his career in law enforcement and the impact he made. You can read his full statement and all the allegations against him on our website right now. Just look for the story in the 13 Investigates section. Sierra Putman, 13 Investigates.